Welcome, everybody, to the 82nd Annual Cal Awards. I'm Jody Bowersox, Cal's current president, and I'd like to congratulate all of this year's finalists. No matter how it all shakes out today, we applaud you all. And let's give a big hand to Connie Sr., our Cal event director, for putting together all our treats. She did a fabulous job, and she told me today she's moving to Massachusetts, so I'm going to go home and cry. Yes, yes. Some of you out there have this gift. We know it. Let me know. Well, Cal has had a couple years of phenomenal growth, with our membership getting darn close to 330. This didn't just happen. If you build it, they will come. When you build a community that truly cares about one another, hashtag from me to we, and promotes their author friends right alongside their own writing business, it's irresistible. People will want what we've got. Those of you who are kind of new to Cal may be wondering how to get more involved in the Cal community. And here are just a few ideas. Encourage other authors when the writing, publishing, and promoting life becomes a struggle. Share other authors' good news and promotional posts that I do every day on Facebook and Mastodon. Help with those free and 99-cent promotions we send out that boost new releases and book sales and Amazon ratings. Enter into conversations in our Facebook group or the new forums on the website. Read the newsletters so you know what's going on. Consider how you can become an active volunteer, helping with a piece of the website's management, or become a promoter of Cal on a different social media platform. New ones seem to crop up every day, and I'm not an expert on hardly any of them. So we need these young guys who, where's Alex? We need Alex to help us out with some of those things. Let's see, consider if you might accept a board position. We are in currently need of a new promotions director, and as I said, we're going to need a new event director as well. If you're interested, please let me know. Maybe you're a blogger and you wouldn't mind doing a blog post on Cal or Cal authors. Maybe you're a podcaster and you wouldn't mind doing a podcast about Cal or interviewing Cal authors. We also had other things you can do on your own that we will advertise. Barb Lundy started our Expert Edge seminars that we did through the spring. If you want to take over that, she would be glad to hand it to you. Anytime you want to do a coffee, just tell me and I'll advertise it, where you're going to be and what time. Maybe you'd like to form a critique group. I'll be glad to advertise it. I can't pull all these things together, but I can be your megaphone. Cal will appreciate any gift, any talent, or bit of energy you can give it, because when you invest in a community, the gift you give will always come back to you. Together, we're stronger, smarter, and more visible. Together, we're the Colorado Authors League. We're going to start off our awards presentation with honoring our 2023 Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Barb Lundy. Barb received 3 nominations, but we're going to let one of Barb's oldest friends, Joni Mickle, tell us about Barb's writing life.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Can't hear you.
Put the mic in front of your mouth.
Okay, is this better?
Yes.
I'm honored to be here today to celebrate Barb.
I've known her for almost 50 years. We were mere children when we met. And we had the good fortune to take a writing class taught by Lois Beebe Hayner, a previous recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award. That little class morphed into a wonderful writers group, active to this day. Barb is a nonstop, multifaceted writer, a researcher, an organizer, an excellent mentor and coach, and a priceless friend. She has written in almost every genre. Her poetry has appeared in over 70 literary journals, including Poetry, The MacGuffin, and Rattle. DMQ Quarterly nominated Barb for a Pushcart Prize. She is listed in the Poets and Writers Directory. Her poetry collection, The Fiction of Stone 2020, got rave reviews, and she's had a mere 700 plus freelance articles published. Barb's a superwoman when it comes to all she achieves, but there is a small chink in the armor that gives her a bit more time than most of us have to devote to our writing. Barb doesn't cook. She doesn't cook ever. When I first knew her, her young son came home from school and announced with total awe that Tommy's mom makes her own Jell-O at home. Michael thought Jell-O and pretty much everything else came from the deli. I once brought a casserole to a writers' gathering at Barb's. I do cook, and that's probably why I'm not an internationally famous person. Anyway, I went to pop the casserole into her oven, but it was full of sweaters. No danger of them. No danger of that oven ever being turned on, though. But back to why we're here. When her youngest child headed off to school, she volunteered at the Legal Aid Society. When she realized that the volunteers would benefit from more knowledge of the laws pertaining to the problems legal aid clients were facing, she went into their law library and started reading. She wondered if she'd been an attorney in a past life because she understood what she read. Barb has a gift for making the complex understandable. This has not only served her well, but with her goal of writing the law in easy-to-understand English, her volunteer manual ended up on the bookshelf of the overworked attorney who had staunchly resisted this project of hers. She served on the Colorado Child Support Commission for 3 years and had a hand in writing the legislation that provided Colorado with our first child support guidelines. The Junior League asked Barb and an attorney from Legal Aid to write a pro se guide to help people do their own legal work. She taught writing at Arapahoe Community College for many years, always had a waiting list for her classes. Not only is Barb a gifted multi-genre writer in her own right, but she has generously assisted aspiring writers. Using her marketing skills, she has identified the right fit for countless submissions and successfully shepherded the author to publication. I'm one of those lucky writers that Barb herded toward publication. My brother confessed he felt sorry for me never getting anything into print till he found out I never submitted anything. Barb, not always gently, took me under wing, researched the market, and prodded me on to the thrill of seeing my pieces in print. She has done and continues to do this for so many of us. As I'm sure you all know, the Colorado Authors League is near and dear to Barb. She served on the Cal Board as awards chair in 2013. She became Cal president from 2018 to 2021. Thus, this award is so meaningful. I have barely scratched the surface of Barb's writing accomplishments and the many organizations and causes enriched by her talents. Suffice it to say that I am extremely proud of her and thrilled to be here to celebrate this honor with her.
I have to admit I missed most of Barb's writing career. I had talked to her briefly at one of the co-op booths, but I didn't really get to know what she was made of until she became the Cal president in 2018. Then I got to see. Always encouraging, she steered Cal in some new directions, starting with a brand new website that had the potential to be a real member benefit in addition to being a money saver. But one of Barb's greatest gifts is seeing the gifts in others. She pulled us together to write prompts for young writers in 2020. And under her leadership, the board expanded its social media presence as well as the awards categories. And while she is no longer on the board, she still helps with promotion, advice, and encouragement. So Barb, we are thrilled that you have been selected to be this year's Lifetime Achievement Award winner. And we hope that this little old thing makes you smile every time you dust it. Come on up and say a few words, and let's give her a round of applause. You want me to hold it?
Yes, that would be good. Well, I'm really humbled and I'm grateful. All writers know our craft requires long hours of isolation. So I thank my family and friends for the gift of time. My writing community changed my life. Excuse me. Joni talked about Lois Bibihena. I was in my mid-20s and Lois was in her mid-60s when we launched our writing careers at the same time. A poet, Lois kept writing until her death at 104. We left copies of her poetry on every table, and we're hoping that you take a book home or that you put a book in a little library near your home. I thank the board members I've worked with for their ideas, their talents, their willingness to explore new approaches. Their hard work made a positive difference. And Jody, I thank you for your inspired leadership. Congratulations to Lisa Casper, who is this year's Author Advocate, and to all the finalists. I'm honored to be included in the august company of Colorado Lifetime Achievement Award winners. I'll close with this. Just imagine if each writer at this gathering was accompanied by every reader who was touched by their work. The crowd would be impressive. If we imagine all the readers Cal members have influenced since Cal's inception in 1931, the numbers become vast. And we all know there's much more to write. Thank you.
Thank you, Barb. Thank you for all you've done. I became a board member during Barb's presidency, and we miss you at board meetings, but we're very, very glad that you are here today. My name is Lori Marr-Wasmond, and I am the membership chair and the vice president of Colorado Authors League. I'd like to thank Jody and all the board members for all their hard work for making Cal the outstanding organization that it is. And I'm honored to be able to introduce the 2023 Author Advocate, Lisa Casper. I have known Lisa since 2016, when I first participated in a Douglas County local author showcase. Lisa is a powerhouse in local literary scene and beyond. She holds an MA in Mass Communications from the University of Denver and has worked as the Community Relations Liaison for Douglas County Libraries for 16 years. She creates book lovers monthly programs for the branches of Douglas County Libraries, as well as arranging and hosting public talks for the library district with notable authors such as Lisa C. and C.J. Box. For many years, she also hosted author visits at the Tattered Cover. Promoting books and authors is Lisa's passion. She credits Joyce Mescus of Tattered Cover for helping her discover, in her own words, all things books and authors. Many of CAL's members know of the Douglas County Local Author Showcases that give authors, both indie and traditionally published, a chance to introduce our most recent books to the public and to meet other authors. And there are always good cookies as well. Lisa coordinates these events, which take place 4 times a year, with up to 14 Colorado authors participating at one time. For me, as an indie author, the local author showcases have been invaluable. I've built a fan base and gotten book club gigs, and I met Lee Mossel, who told me about Cal at a local author showcase. How many of you here today have participated in a local author showcase? Raise your hands. Hey, Robert? Anybody else? Adam? Alex, sorry. Okay. All right, then you know how important these are to indie authors. When Lisa isn't at work, she enjoys reading, kayaking, and spending time with her adorable pooch, Benny the Minpin. Please welcome Lisa Casper, Colorado Authors League 2023 Author Advocate.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you to the Colorado Authors League members and Lori Marr-Wasman for this wonderful award. I am truly honored. And like she said, when I started working at the Tattered Cover in 2000 with Joyce Meskis and her team, I was already a reader. I was the one who had the doll pram filled with books as a kid, not dolls. I knew I loved reading and telling stories, and I knew I loved advocating for authors and putting books in readers' hands. It seemed to be my niche. When I started at Douglas County Libraries as Community Relations Liaison, I found that working the events and started doing book lovers and talking to customers was still my favorite thing. I know self-publishing was gaining popularity many years ago, and I was in the front of the library one day when a lady came in and said, should I spend $7,000 more on a 1-inch New York Times ad for my book about my daughter's life because I've already spent $20,000 of my personal money? And I said, put your checkbook away. I don't think an inch ad somewhere in the New York Times is going to matter about your book. And that's when I started doing research about what I could do to help local authors who were in this dilemma. And I made great friends with Polly Latosky and Nicole Magestro, who owned the Bookworm of Edwards. She had started featuring local authors at the bookstore. And so I met with her and borrowed her initial application, redid it for the library so it was free, and that you could sell your books at the library during it. And it's been a success ever since, and it's always an amazing process. I don't choose the books by genre. I just choose first come, first serve and the date. And I always learn things. It's like going to college for free. And to see so many talented people out there telling stories we can all learn from, I truly believe that it just has made me really appreciative of the talent of all of you writers and authors and journalists and poets. And I so appreciate you, and I thank you again for this honor. And it just means the world to me to be recognized by authors and peers and so forth. So thank you so much.
Now, this isn't quite as big as Barb's, but we have this that we hope you'll remember us by.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for being here today. It's such a privilege to present the awards for excellence in writing this year. And it's always fun to gather together in such a beautiful spot on a lovely Colorado afternoon. We'll hope that the rain holds off until we're finished, but it is nice to have a little bit of breeze. I want to again honor Barb Lundy, our Lifetime Achievement Award winner, who has served Cal in such an outstanding way for so many years, and Lisa, Cal's 2023 Author Advocate, who has served Colorado readers, writers, and communities throughout her career. Join me in one more round of applause. We'll start this afternoon with a definition of writing from the experts on Facebook. Writing is a profession for introverts who want to tell you a story, but don't want to make eye contact while telling it. As our life partners, our families, our friends, and our editors know, writing isn't easy. It's a lifetime obsession, addiction, and joy. And through hard work, perseverance, and a little bit of luck, you will one day sit among your fellow writers, as you are today, and your name will be called. So we celebrate you, those of you who have told your stories, eye contact optional. Congratulations to all who entered the Colorado Authors League Excellence in Writing Awards, and to all finalists and winners here today. We'll start with the awards for short categories of articles, essays, single poems, and I think I said short stories. Please note that all 2023 finalists will be announced in alphabetical order according to title. And would all finalists please stand when they hear their names? Winners, once you've received your award, would you please pause for a moment to have your photo taken? In the category of essay, Closer to Heaven by Lou Dean, Floating by Catherine Winograd, Live Oaks by Carol Ann Wilson. This year's award goes to Carol Ann Wilson, Live Oaks. In the category of article, Indigenous Americans Became Red by Robert V. Dodge, Stained Glass Needs Saving by Susan A. Fletcher, The 1619 Project, A New Origin Story by Carol Ann Wilson. And the winner is Susan A. Fletcher, Stained Glass Needs Saving. Sadly, Susan wasn't able to join us today. As Mary Oliver said, poetry is one of the ancient arts, and it begins, as did all the fine arts, within the original wilderness of the earth. I think you will hear that in the titles of the poems that are finalists for single poem. Octopus on a Sea Dock by Catherine Winograd. Siempre Contando by Art Goodtimes. The Wild Hive by Dan Gunther. Congratulations to Catherine Winograd, Octopus on a Sea Dock. From Henry David Thoreau. Not that the story need be long, but it will take a long while to make it a short story. And that is the perfect description of writing a short story. The finalists are A Piece of Action by Adam Gaffin, Close Encounter Confessions by Petra Perkins, The Veil's Thin by Teresa Crater. This year's award goes to Petra Perkins, Close Encounter Confessions. In the category of children's picture book, Grandma's Tales by Cheryl Carpinello, Louise Lint by Claudia Cangilla McAdam, Paxton Plays the Piccolo by Virginia K. White. This year's award goes to Louise Lint by Claudia Cangilla McAdam. Claudia was unable to make it today. Maurice Sendak described the illustrator as someone who so falls in love with writing that he wishes he had written it, and the closest he can get is to illustrating it. And the next thing you learn, you have to find something unique in this book, which perhaps even the author was not entirely aware of. And that's what you hold on to, and that's what you add to the pictures, a whole other story that you believe in, that you think is there. In the category of illustration, Little Brown Horsey, Gaspar Saboteur and J.B. Stockings, Monty and Rose Return to Montrose, Anna Maria Crum and Tamima Itani, Up in the Air, Gaspar Saboteur and J.B. Stockings. This year's award goes to Gaspar Saboteur, Up in the Air by J.B. Stockings, who is also known as Jody Bowersock. In the category of book cover design for adult books, Alien Expatriates by Anthony Garcia, Triple Your Income in 3 Years by Sherry Cobb South, Blue-Eyed Devil, cover design by Tristan Bowersox. This year's award goes to Tristan Bowersox, Blue-Eyed Devil by Jody Bowersox.
Later.
In the category of book cover design juvenile, Monty and Rose Return to Montrose, Anna Maria Crum and Tamima Itani, Paxton Plays the Piccolo, Gaspar Saboteur and Virginia K. White, To Serve and Protect, Amy Klein and Leslie Wall. This year's award goes to Anna Maria Crum, Monty and Rose Return to Montrose.
Thank you.
If Moses were alive today, he'd come down from the mountain with the 10 Commandments and spend the next 5 years trying to get them published. Anonymous. We now move to the longer categories. This includes poetry collections, nonfiction books, and works of fiction. For poetry collection, the nominees are Flying Beneath the Dog Star by Catherine Winograd, Ghostword by Chrysosto Apache, Where Sunday Used to Be by Daniel Clay Witter. This year's winner is Daniel Clay Witter, Where Sunday Used to Be. The great Joan Didion wrote, "Writing nonfiction is more like sculpture, a matter of shaping the research into the finished thing. Novels are like paintings, specifically watercolors. Every stroke you put down, you have to go with. Of course you can rewrite, but the original strokes are still there in the texture of the thing. In the category of nonfiction general, the finalists are A Line by Harmony Koiker, Debriefing by Tez Brooks, Wild Times and True Tales from the High Plains by Matt Vincent. This year's award goes to Matt Vincent, Wild Times and True Tales from the High Plains. In the category of historical nonfiction, Colorado Disasters by Phyllis J. Perry, Light and Life, First Presbyterian Church at 150 by Susan A. Fletcher, September 12th, An American Comeback Story by Dean Rothbart. The award goes to Susan A. Fletcher, Light and Life, First Presbyterian Church of Colorado Springs at 150 years by Susan A. Fletcher. In the category of biography, memoir, the finalists are 14 Dogs and Me by Mary Roberts, Connected Soldiers by John Spencer, Recorder of Deeds by Catherine Underhill Fitzpatrick. This year's award goes to Catherine Underhill Fitzpatrick, Recorder of Deeds.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We now move to fiction. Well, William Faulkner said, "The problems of the human heart in conflict with itself alone can make good writing, because only that is worth writing about, worth the agony and the sweat." In the category of juvenile young adult, Daybreak on Raven Island by Fleur Bradley, The Last Huntress by Lenore Borja, She Who Rides Horses by Sarah V. Barnes. This year's winner is Fleur Bradley, Daybreak on Raven Island. In the category of novella, Magic and Midnight Mint Bars by Iona Morrison, The King in the Tower by Kendra Merritt, The Odd Sea by Petra Perkins. The winner is Kendra Merritt, The King in the Tower.
It's my moment.
Every now and again, the mists will clear, and you'll get a wonderful view of the valley on the other side, or the town you're heading toward. You know what's happening, and then the mists will come back in again, and once more you're creeping along. But that is how you write a novel. Neil Gaiman. In the category of mainstream literary, the finalists are A Light in the Forest by Melissa Payne, Ellie Uncomposed by Valerie Niemer, Errors of Night by R.J. Stewart. This year's award goes to A Light in the Forest by Melissa Payne. Melissa is unable to be here today. We have two historical fiction categories. I'm a historical fiction writer myself, and so these are very near and dear to my heart. Historical fiction, Ancient Times to 1800. Brighter Than the Flames by Stefan Scheuermann. Out Front the Following Sea by Leah Engstman. She Who Rides Horses by Sarah V. Barnes. The winner is Stefan Scheuermann, Brighter Than the Flames. Stefan is unable to make it today. In the category of historical fiction 1800 to 1920, the finalists are Breakheart Canyon by Ginny Rifkin, Desert Rainbow by Scott Bowman, In the Family Way by Sherry Cobb South. This year's winner is Desert Rainbow by Scott Bowman.
Thank you.
In the category of romance, the finalists are Beyond the Door by Iona Morrison, Breakheart Canyon by Ginny Rifkin, Call Me Home by Lindsay Cowherd. This year's award goes to Ginny Rifkin, Breakheart Canyon. Things writers Google. Last name ideas. 2, what's the real word for that thingy thing? 3, how much blood can a person lose without dying? 4, murder, murder, murder. 5, where do commas go? 6, types of croissants. 7, am I sleep deprived, or is it normal to see the void physically manifesting? Which brings us to our next categories: mystery, thrillers, sci-fi, and fantasy. In the category of cozy mystery, Diamond on the High Seas by Karen Gilliland, Drawn to Murder by Bob C., In the Family Way by Sherry Cobb South. This year's award goes to Sherry Cobb South, In the Family Way. And sadly, Sherry is not here. In the category of mystery, the nominees are Dark of Night by Barbara Nicholas, Rough Ride by Paula Hunter, The Chimera Club by Chuck Greaves. This year's award goes to Chuck Greaves, The Chimera Club. And sadly, Chuck is not here. Okay, I know the next two are here. In the category of thriller, the finalists are Branded Graves by Randy Samuelson Brown and Fatal Recall by Ginny Rifkin. This year's award goes to Ginny Rifkin, Fatal Recall.
close.
Toni Morrison wrote, "If there's a book that you want to read, but it hasn't been written yet, then you must write it." Facebook has wisely amended this to, write the book you want to read because you'll have to read it 75 times before you're finished. In the category of science fiction, Andromeda Road's Liberation by Mark Mora, The Oort Federation, To the Stars by Robert G. Williscroft. This year's award goes to Robert G. Williscroft, The Oort Federation, To the Stars. In the category of fantasy, the finalists are Laurel of the Dark by Todd Fonestock, The Pain Bearer by Kendra Merritt, Tower of the Four, The Dragon's War by Todd Fonestock. The winner is Kendra Merritt, The Pain Bearer.
You need to exercise, right?
As Maya Angelou said, we write for the same reason that we walk, talk, climb mountains, or swim the oceans, because we can. We have some impulse within us that makes us want to explain ourselves to other human beings. That's why we paint. That's why we dare to love someone, because we have the impulse to explain who we are. This concludes the awards portion of the ceremony. If all the finalists and winners will please stand, let's give them another round of applause. Congratulations to you all, and I think there are more goodies over here.
I'm going to say a few more words at you. I'd like to thank a few people for their service to Cal. Michelle Packard served as promotions director for the past year, creating flyers, uploading readings on YouTube, encouraging our members to take advantage of the interviews that Sunlit grants us, and petitioning bookstores on Cal's behalf to set up book signings. Thanks, Michelle, for many hours you've given to Cal. A big thank you also goes to Mary Johnson, who has been posting on Instagram for more than a year, promoting authors and events. As life and work have taken both Mary and Michelle in different directions, 2 more Cal members are needed to step up to the plate. Please consider if you can give some time to either of these positions. Stephanie Krupfel stepped down as Cal secretary in the last year when she and Jim moved to Wisconsin. Thank you, Stephanie, for all those notes and minutes. Stephanie also acted as our liaison with DU Ollie courses. The year gave rise to some active volunteers that I would also like to acknowledge. Marge Charlier, Stefan Scheuerman, John Ravens, Brenda Small, Cassie Clark, Lauren Braden, and Lori Mara-Wasmond and Todd Fonestock have all lent a hand to keep all the various parts of Cal running smoothly. And thanks also to our current board members, Lori Mara-Wasmond, Kendra Merritt, Robert Williscroft, Connie Sr., Todd Fonestock, and our newest, Catherine Winograd, who has volunteered to be next year's awards director. If you're here, stand up a minute so we can see who you are. We just thank you so much. Appreciate all of their willingness to give some time to make Cal one of the best writing organizations in the state. I'd also like to thank Denver Wedding Rentals for setting us up with tables, chairs, and tablecloths, Wolf Videography for filming our event, and Tristan Bowersox for taking pictures and creating our flyers. As soon as I'm done yakking at you, he will set up over by our banner and take more pictures for anyone who wants more pictures. Feel free to mingle. If anyone would like to help us tear down and clean up, we won't turn you down. The Lifetime Achievement video celebrating Barb Lundy's writing career was put together by Denny Dressman and James Wolfe, and we will have a YouTube watch party next Sunday at 2 p.m. Be sure and read the newsletter coming out in a few days to get the link. We have flyers available highlighting this year's winners and finalists, and we're just going to take a few seconds to set up right here. After I'm done, we'll hand out certificates and stickers and flyers, so please do not leave. If you are a finalist, do not leave this building without your certificate and your stickers, because I don't want to mail them to you. Also, winners, you have your trophies, but we have stickers for you as well, and flyers. Thank you all again for coming. I hope you've enjoyed reconnecting with old friends and meeting new friends as much as I have. If you want another cupcake, there's some there. So come have some more if you want. Thanks a lot for being here.